We're back. It's week 5 of the football season. We're here with head coach Miguel Regalado. Coach, tough loss last weekend at Benedictine, top 25 team. Talk about your team's performance and coming out of that one and getting ready for the rest of the year.
I was extremely proud of our guys. I told them all week long this was going to be a 12-round fight, and it was a 12-round fight. I think anytime you have two really good football teams that go at each other, KP, you got about 3 or 4 plays that you can look at and you can look back on. When it's uneven matched teams, it doesn't matter. But when you got two teams that are evenly matched, you look down the statistics, it's an evenly matched game. I got to give them credit. We took the momentum with a 14-10 lead. Championship teams answer, and they answered. They answered with a 75-yard drive. We gave up a pick six. I think those are 2 critical plays that if you take away, it's probably a different ball game, but that's what 2 good football teams do. They go at each other, and the one that makes the least amount of mistakes usually wins. But I was extremely proud of the way our guys fought. I'd been telling them all year we had unfinished business with the way we performed in that game a year ago, and they did nothing but make us proud as a staff.
Right before the half, Zach Kramer gets an interception, kind of stops a drive there for Benedictine. After that pick, what do you tell the team at halftime, try and get them rallied for the second half there?
Well, you tell them what you tell them all week long, which is, it's a 12-round fight. I mean, it is. It's a game that's going to go down the wire. I don't know, KP, if our guys really believed that at that point, that we're in it. And when it came down to the end, I remember telling them on the sideline, I told you this was going to be a 12-round fight. I told you we're going to have a chance to win this thing in the end. So I think what I hope comes out of that game is we now realize that we're a good football team. And it's like I told them after the game, I said, if that's a top 10 football team, you're a top 10 football team. But we've got some things we've got to get corrected on the offensive side of the ball. I thought our defense, led by Kramer, played their butts off. They played their absolute butts off, as our offensive did. We just made a couple of mistakes on that side of the ball that cost us, but really proud of our guys' effort.
Seems like we say it every week. Doesn't get any easier this week. Missouri Valley comes to town. What do you expect to see from the Vikings?
I got off the phone with their radio guy this morning, and I told him, I said, it feels like when Crehan took over at Peru State. He took over a program that was in some trouble. Not that Coach Roth didn't leave Missouri Valley in good shape, but they're winning on defense, they're winning with special forces, and they're winning with a very run-oriented offense. And it's the exact same pedigree that he's bringing to Missouri Valley. They're playing really well. They're playing with a lot of confidence. And so I told our team we got to lick our wounds very quickly here because this is a dangerous football team. But I like the way our defense matches up with them. And I know that Sam is going to be ready. Sam is ready. Sam's going to get the start. Truman's not quite there with his ankle yet, but I think we've got the best backup in the league, so I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Absolutely. Talk about how special it is that the 2 winningest programs in the NAIA or in our conference playing this weekend, Baker versus Missouri Valley. Talk about how special it is that the 2 winningest programs in the NAIA are in our conference.
Crazy. They were on an incredible run. When I first got here, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this Missouri Valley team is incredible. They had their run, then Baker University had their run. I think we've kind of had the better of it lately, but you can just see with Coach Crehan that the energy is back at Missouri Valley. It's pretty incredible what they're doing at their university. But it's like you said, every single week, people don't believe me when I say we're the SEC of small college football. It's a battle every single week, and I don't expect anything different this weekend.
We'll talk to him here in a second, but Zach Kramer, what has he meant to this defense and to this football team?
He is a quiet killer. He is putting up video game numbers right now. Every single week, it seems like you could put him up for Defense Player of the Week, Heart Player of the Week. It's kind of weird how many interceptions our linebackers have at this place. I've never seen anything like it. And I'll never forget it. My first summer back here as the head coach, Coach Pauly, working the same old drills with our linebackers and their drops and their relaxed drops. And they almost look like they're kind of in cruise mode, but they're not. They're diagnosing it, and then they make phenomenal plays. Between Zach Kramer and Karn, it's incredible how they have a knack for being around the football. Kramer has instincts that once he sees it, he knifes through, he makes the play, and it's incredible. But I think he's playing at a very high level. I think our defense is playing at a very high level, and we're going to need it again this week.
One last question here. You talked about Sam getting the start this Saturday. Talk about how he's been able to handle this season. Truman's got the start the first 4 games of the season, but he's stayed ready, comes into the game at Benedictine, plays really well. Talk about how he's been able to kind of stay ready and be ready for this week to start.
I think it sums up everything Sam Hegeman's about. Sam I think in today's world, KP, when you're not the starter, especially at the quarterback position, it's jump in the portal, transfer, go somewhere else. Sam Hageman has done nothing but prepare himself every single day for when his number's called, and when his number's called, he performs, and he's going to do it again this weekend. I think he is a phenomenal person. He's a fantastic leader. I think when he steps into the huddle, there is not a drop-off in leadership. Our kids know that Sam's going to get the job done, and for him to come into those situations last week and have a chance to win that football game in the end tells everything about his character. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him perform. He knows his role. He knows when Truman is healthy, Truman's the guy. But until that point, I'm going to be the guy, and he's going to do a great job Saturday.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time today, Coach. Be sure to come out to Liston Stadium on Saturday at 1 p.m. as the Wildcats take on Missouri Valley.